I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. You know things are bad when Trump's own lawyer, Joe Tacopina, is calling Donald Trump a liar. And that's what happened in court on Thursday. And this all relates to Donald Trump stating while he was in Ireland that he intended to fly back to the United States, that he had to cut his golf outing short because he was going to testify, is what he told the press in the E. Jean Carroll trial, when he absolutely is not going to testify. He's a coward. He came up with an excuse why he couldn't be in court this past week, essentially fled the United States, went to Scotland where he bought his own red carpet and paid for bagpipers to play as he deplaned to act like they actually wanted him there when he was certainly not welcomed there at all. He then went to Ireland to play golf, and then he told the press, I got to cut my trip short because I'm being accused falsely of things and I need to testify. And we all knew that was false. I'm going to play the video of Donald Trump saying that in just a moment. But then when word got to Joe Tacopina that Donald Trump said that, Tacopina had to tell the press, no, that's absolutely not true. He is not testifying in this case. But at the end of the proceedings on Thursday, Judge Lewis Kaplan, the federal judge who's presiding over the E. Jean Carroll case, said something, though, and did something that I think was absolutely brilliant to basically call Trump out for the statements that he had just made in Ireland. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first, this is what Donald Trump said on Thursday to a pool of reporters about the E. Jean Carroll case. And he said all of these, again, defamatory things about her, again, I think, in this statement, and then said he had to cut his trip short because he was going to confront her. Play this clip.
Because of that, I have to leave Ireland and I have to leave Scotland, where I have great properties. I have to leave early. I don't have to, but I choose to.
Will you attend the trial, Mr. President?
I'll probably attend, and I think it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that it's allowed to happen. It's called false accusations against a rich guy, or in my case, against a famous, rich, and political person that's leading the polls by 40 points. And I have to go back for a woman that made a false accusation about me, and I have a judge who's extremely hostile. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to confront this one. This woman is a disgrace, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country.
And look, we all knew when we saw that clip that Donald Trump was not going to do what he said. I mean, he's just a liar. I mean, how can somebody support this individual? How can somebody say, you know what, not only are you such a coward that you don't show up, but then you lie to the press and say that you're going to go back to the United States when you basically fled the United States to be in Scotland and Ireland to hide? I mean, all gaslighting, all lies, total and complete coward. But then a reporter, Molly Crane Newman, basically said, you know, when Tacopina was asked, so is Trump coming back to testify? Tacopina had to say no. So what happened with Judge Lewis Kaplan, the federal judge presiding over the case? Well, when the proceedings ended on Thursday, E. Jean Carroll's lawyers rested their case, and they said, Judge, we're resting. We've completed putting on all of our evidence. And then Judge Lewis Kaplan went to Joe Tacopina and said, you may put on your case. And Tacopina said, nope, the defense is resting as well. But then the judge did something interesting. You know, the judge said, look, I am given what Donald Trump said in Ireland. I'm now going to give Donald Trump until throughout the weekend and report back to me on Monday whether or not he's going to testify or not. And Tacopina's like, he's waived his rights to testify. He's not testifying at all. And the judge said, well, I hear you saying that, but let's give him until Monday to make up his mind if he's going to testify or not. Let's give him some time to think about it because he just told the press he wants to show up. And Tacopina's like, no, that ain't happening. So why did Judge Lewis Kaplan do that? It's actually brilliant because one of the things that Donald Trump may have claimed and what he was trying to do in Ireland, remember what he does. It's all games. It's all playing the victim. So what he was probably planning on doing is basically saying, I tried to fly back. I was ready to testify, but then the judge basically said that, it's closing statements and wouldn't let me testify. I wanted to testify, but then the case ended just in the nick of time and I was not able to get back, soon enough. That's what Trump was trying to set up, right? So the judge brilliantly said, you know what? No, I hear what you're saying on the record that Trump's not testifying, but let's give him a few days to make up his mind. And this way, and the judge didn't say this, but Trump could not argue, I tried to testify, but the judge was unfair, and the judge this, you heard what he was saying in that clip. So a brilliant move by the judge to call Trump out. And Trump's not going to testify. He's a coward. Of course he isn't going to testify. But at least Trump will have a more difficult time trying to play the victim, which is exactly what he was setting up for there. Do you also remember, though, this clip? So I showed you that last clip where Trump was in Ireland. When Trump was in Scotland and he claimed he was doing a groundbreaking for one of his new golf courses, which again was total BS, he had to have someone put the dirt on his shovel. Do you remember what he said? He goes, I want to take this dirt and throw it at the press. I don't want to play this for you, just to remind you what a maniac this individual is. Play this clip.
They would throw it at the press. Right in their face. We throw it right in their faces.
And while that maniac was doing that in Scotland, when Joe Tacopina would enter the courthouse, he would be greeted with this. Here, play this clip.
Shame on you.
And what do we say MAGA stands for? Make attorneys get attorneys. And, I think just Joe Tacopina, this whole trial, has tried to take on this Trump persona. He's basically acted very Trumpian, not acting just like someone representing someone, trying to take on the persona of Donald Trump. And meanwhile, you got Trump out there in Ireland lying about returning. It is a perfect microcosm of Trump, a coward, a liar, a gaslighter, a whiner, someone who's just he's out there golfing while this is taking place, someone so out of touch. It perfectly encapsulates, I think, just what a despicable person that he is. But I'm glad to report that to you, that even Tacopina saying, total liar. And then what Judge Lewis Kaplan did as well. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Thanks to your support. It's free to subscribe. It's free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So hit subscribe. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and wherever you get podcasts, search the MeidasTouch podcast and subscribe. It's free. All right, hit subscribe on the YouTube. It's free. Oh, and check us out at Instagram as well. It's free. MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.